Hello everyone and welcome to this training webinar on getting started with DoseALL. My name is Jyoti, Application Specialist at Technobase, and I will be your host for today's session. So in this webinar, I will guide you through how to use DoseALL with your ReactALL system so that you can take full advantage of its capabilities in automating your liquid dosing for your ReactALL experiments. Before getting started with the training, we have few technical announcements. So this webinar is being recorded and will be available to you in the coming days. The audience is muted, but if you have any questions, please write in the Q&A chat box. We will try to answer all your questions at the end. If you have any questions later or would you like to know more, please write to the email address support@reactall.com. You can also write to me, jyoti.yadav@technovis.com. So this webinar will be around 30 to 45 minutes and I hope you find it useful. So during this training webinar, first I will give you a brief introduction to DoseALL. What is DoseALL with all the technical specifications? Then we will go to the lab and learn how to physically install and connect DoseALL with ReactALL system. Then we will learn how to initialize and configure the syringes, how to fix the syringes, both disposable and glass syringe. And of course, we will learn how to dose liquid during an experiment, which I think is the most important for automating your experiments. And in the end, we will have Q&A session to answer all your questions. Giving a bit of introduction, what is DoseALL? So DoseALL is advanced automated liquid dosing module specifically designed to streamline your lab experiments. It features 5 in parallel syringe pumps operating independently and delivers reliable dosing across wide volume range from microliters to milliliters. So DoseALL is specifically developed for the ReactALL instrument and it integrates seamlessly into your existing ReactALL experiments with easy to navigate software enhancing both your research efficiency and experimental capabilities. Talking about technical specifications, DoseALL features 5 parallel syringe pumps, and you can use up to 2 syringes per reactor, but with total of 5 syringes per ReactALL system. It supports both disposable and glass syringe. With disposable syringe, you have option for 1 ml and 5 ml syringe volume, and for glass syringe, you have option for only 5 ml syringe volume. So each type of syringe, glass or disposable, they provide its own advantages, offering flexibility to suit your specific applications. So dosing speed, it ranges from as low as 1 microliter per second, and soon in the new software release, it will be even slower to 0.1 microliter per second. And you can go as fast as 500 microliter per second. The volume you can dispense is from 10 microliters to 5,000 microliters. I think with these specifications, DoseALL is ideal for precise control across all your liquid dosing applications. Now, coming to the practical part of the training, we will go to the lab and learn step by step how to set up and use DoseALL with your ReactALL system. Okay, so now we are in the lab in front of the ReactALL system, and also we have DoseALL here. So we can see here there are 5 positions for the 5 syringes, and each can be connected to the 5 reactors. For the installation is very simple. We simply place the DoseALL on the ReactALL system, and we nicely align the left side of DoseALL with the ReactALL, and similarly we align the back side of DoseALL with the ReactALL. So like this, it will be nicely placed and positioned on the ReactALL. So this is simply the installation. After this, I will show you the connections, how to do the connections of DoseALL with the ReactALL. Okay, so now you can see the side view of DoseALL. So for the connections, first we connect the power cable, which is connected to the power supply. We insert it in here. And second thing we connect is the USB cable here, and this screw from the side. So this USB cable is connected to the laptop that we are using with ReactALL. So these are the two basic connections, but then we also have this nitrogen flow, which we need when we use the glass syringe. So this is already connected, but when we connect it, be careful for the connection. We can also use a distributor, t-shirt distributor, which we can distribute the nitrogen flow from ReactALL with the DoseALL. Then we can also see a connection here, which is the outlet of nitrogen. This I will show you the connections where we fix the glass image. And this is where you can control the output flow, output pressure for the glass syringes, and also you can see the pressure here. So these are the basic connections, and then we simply switch on the button here. And when the dose all is on, you can see a red sign on this. So now this is physically connected. Now we'll go to the software and connect those all with the ReactALL. Okay, so after making all the necessary connections, we check the DoseALL connection in the software by opening the connection panel here. The dosing module will automatically connect to the ReactALL system, which will be indicated by this syringe symbol. If the DoseALL does not connect automatically, we navigate to the dosing module tab and just click on connect. To use the syringe pumps for dosing, they must be initialized to determine the exact position of the plunger. To initialize, we click on this initialize button. After clicking initialize, the software prompts a warning message to confirm that there is no liquid present in the syringe. When safe, we click on yes. So during this process, the dosing module will move the plunger up and down to accurately detect its position. Please note that the DoseALL module must be initialized only once each time it is powered on and connected to the ReactALL system. This blue initialize button indicates readiness, which will turn gray after successful initialization. Similarly, we repeat the process for other syringes that we want to use. Next, each reactor must also be configured with the syringe type and syringe pump number. To configure, we open the settings in the upper right corner here and enter the given password as you can see on the screen. Once authenticated, the buttons will become active and we click on dosing module settings. By default, one syringe pump is assigned to each reactor in slot 1 of its respective reactor. And each reactor can be assigned up to 2 syringes, but with maximum of 5 syringes for the entire ReactALL system. To modify the syringe type or position, simply click on the corresponding button and make the necessary changes. When a syringe pump is assigned to another reactor, it will be removed from the previously assigned reactor, as you can see here. Once done, we click on Save and then Close. So now we will learn how to fix the glass syringes, but before that, we make sure that in the dosing module settings, the glass syringe is configured for the position where it will be physically installed. For example, here we select glass syringe at the position 1. Okay, so now we have seen how to connect to the dose all with the ReactALL to the software. We have learned how to initialize the syringes, and also we have learned how to configure the syringes with the reactors. So for the position 1, we have assigned the glass syringe. So now we will learn how to fix the glass syringe physically. So for that, first we remove this black cap here. You can do it to the hand using your hand, or also you can use a flat screen. Then we insert this rotary valve at this position and we check the pins and holes that they align properly here. Now it is positioned well. Then we screw it with the screws that are provided with the rotary valve, and we screw them using the screwdriver. Now the rotary valve is fixed here. Now we will position the glass syringe. For that, we first move the plunger down using through the software so that we can make space to fix the glass syringe. And also, we remove this plunger holder by unscrewing at the bottom, and we simply remove this plunger holder. Then to fix the glass switch, we first remove this handle by pulling it and rotating it upwards, and then we screw this glass switch at the bottom position here. Now it's fixed. We align this hole with the plunger here. To do this, we can move it through the software, or also we can align it through the hand. And we again screw this nut back here. So now the glass syringe is positioned. We close this handle back. Yes. So now the glass syringe is fixed. Now we learn how to do the connections, the nitrogen connection at the top, the inlet connection, and the outlet connection. Okay, so for connections with the glass syringe, first we connect the nitrogen, the outlet of nitrogen. We connect this at the side. And then the other part of this tube, we will connect the connector and the ferrite, and this will screw at the top of this rotary valve. If you are using multiple glass syringes, you can use a branch, Y-shaped branch, which is provided with the starter kit, and you can distribute it to the multiple glass syringes if you want to use it. So after this connection, we regulate the pressure from the regulator here. We can use anything between 0.1 to 1 bar, and then close this. So for the inlet, we use this tube, which is thinner than the tube which we use for the nitrogen. And for the connections, we use a ferrule and a connector, and we screw it at the left side of this rotary valve. Similarly, the other end of this tube, we connect a connector and a ferrule, and this we will insert in our solvent bottle. You can pull the tube as long as you want, but it should be immersed in the liquid level. Then for the outlet, we similarly use another tube with the connector and the ferrule, and we screw it on the right side of this rotary valve. Similarly, at the other end of this tube, we use a connector and a ferrule. This we will insert in the smart cap. This I will show you when we actually start using the DoseALL during the experiment. Now we have fixed the glass syringe at position 1. We first move the plunger to the top position by clicking on this up button. Then start the filling process by clicking the fill button here. The syringe will draw liquid through the inlet valve and fill to the default volume of 5 ml. If a specific volume is required, we can also enter the desired amount in the field above the fill button here before beginning the fill step. If you need to stop the filling at any time, press the stop button to pause the operation immediately. After filling is complete, the syringe volume will be indicated by the plunger position, providing a clear visual confirmation. Then there are some other options available for the manual adjustment of the glass syringe, such as this rinse step, which is a cleaning process designed to flush the syringe with solvent. Before starting the rinse step, a warning message will appear to notify you of the operation. If the syringe is already filled, it will first empty it through the out valve and then begins the rinse step with filling the syringe with the solvent through the in valve. Once filled, the solvent is expelled again through the outlet valve. So to prevent slippage of solvents, ensure both the inlet and the outlet tubes are immersed in the respective bottles during this rinse step. And also please note that this step runs continuously from start to finish and cannot be stopped mid-cycle. Next, to remove any residual liquid from the tube, you can click the purge button. So this purge step effectively clears the outlet tube by flushing it with nitrogen. When done, or to stop purge step, simply move the valve position to in or outlet valve. Further, for filling or dispensing of a specific volume using the glass syringe, you can also use these arrow buttons up and down. The arrow will move the plunger up and down to the specific volume which is filled here. Then further, these up and down buttons will move the plunger to the top and the bottom position. It is important to note that these controls operate with the currently selected valve, which allows liquid to be drawn in or expelled through the chosen in or the out valve. You can also adjust the speed of the plunger by specifying the speed here. By default, it is set to the maximum value of 500 microliter per second. Please take care that before connecting the outlet tube to the smart cap for dosing during the experiment, empty the outlet tube by clicking on the purge. So this step is crucial because after each dosing step during the experiment, the purge step is automatically performed to expel any residual liquid in the outlet tube. If liquid remains in the outlet tube before starting the experiment, extra liquid will be dispensed during the first dosing step. You can move the valve to inlet or outlet to stop the purge step. I think this was all about how to use the glass syringe. We will learn later how to insert the tube in the smart cap to dose during the experiment. Now coming to fixing the disposable syringe. But before we learn how to fix the disposable syringe, we first select the syringe type 1 ml or 5 ml to be used with the syringe pump position in the software. Then we move the plunger to the 0 microliter position by directly filling the value in the fill button and moving the plunger up and down by clicking on these arrows. After moving the plunger to 0 microliter volume level, the plunger level should be properly assigned to fix the syringe. So now we come to the part where we learn how to fix the disposable syringe. So we first select the syringe that we want to use, 1 ml or 5 ml. So here it is 5 ml syringe. And through the software, we move the plunger to the 0 microliter level. Now it is easy to fix the disposable syringe. To fix it, we simply first pull the handle and rotate it upwards and fix the syringe to the position here that the flanges it properly aligns in the slit here. And then we simply close it by pulling it and rotating it downwards. We can also use this tool, the silver screen below here, to tighten it more. And then for the connections, we similarly use the same tube and we connect the ferrule and the connector I should also mention that the position of the ferrule should always be like this, then the flat end at the outlet and the narrow end inside or towards the connector. To fix this, we first use the another connector which is provided with the starter kit. We fix it or screw it on this connector, and then we connect this thing at the top of the disposable syringe. Now it is properly fixed. Similarly, at the other end, we use the connector and the ferrule, and this we will insert it in our solvent bottle. We screw it at the top. The tube should be immersed in the liquid level. So now through the software, we will learn how to fill the disposable syringe and how to use it during the experiment. So after fixing the disposable syringe, we fill the syringe by clicking on this down button to lower the plunger completely, which will fill the syringe to its maximum capacity of 5 ml. If needed, we can stop the process by clicking on stop button. If a specific volume is needed, we enter the desired amount in the volume filling option here and then click on this down arrow to fill this specific volume. After filling the syringe, we insert the same tube in the smart cap. But before we insert the tube in the smart cap, it is recommended to prime the tube by dispensing a small amount of liquid through it by clicking on this up arrow button. So this ensures that any air trapped inside the tube is removed and the tube is properly flushed with the selected solvent. Okay, so now we come to the part where we will learn how to insert the tube from the syringes to the smart cap. First, for the glass syringe, we take the outer tube and then insert the ferrule and the connector as we did earlier. Again, the position of the ferrule should be like this, the flat part towards outside and the narrow part towards the connector. Before connecting the tube from the glass syringe to the smart cap, we purge it with the nitrogen so that there is no solvent in this outlet tube. To insert it in the smart cap, we remove the smart cap from the ReactALL and then remove this stopper and then simply insert the tube in this port. You can extend the tube as long as you want inside the reactor, and then we close the stopper. And then insert the smart cap back in the reactor. For the disposable syringe, we take the only tube that we have from our solvent bottle, as we have already inserted the ferrule and the connector. Before connecting the tube from the disposable into the smart cap, we prime this tube by expelling small amount of liquid through this tube so that there are no air bubbles inside this outlet tube. Again, to insert it in the smart cap, we remove the smart cap from the reactor and remove the stopper. And then simply insert the tube in. Again, we can extend it in the reactor as long as we want, and then we screw back the connector again. We insert the smart cap back to our reactor. I think now the smart caps are ready to perform the experiment. Now we will go to the software and learn how to dose during the experiment. Now we come to the last and the most important part, that is how to dose liquid during the experiment using the dosing module. So after inserting the tube into the smart cap, we navigate to the experiments tab and click on New ReactALL experiment which opens the Details tab. Here we complete all the required experiment information. After filling all the details, we navigate to the Program tab to design our experiment. To design the experiment, we drag the required action from the action list here. And when dosing step is required during the experiment, we include the dose step. And for each dose step, we fill the details on the right side here. We select the syringe number 1 or 2 to be used for the dosing. Please note that each reactor can be configured with maximum of 2 syringes, which allows you to dose 2 different types of liquids. In the dose step, syringe number 1 refers to the first syringe configured with the reactor, while syringe number 2 refers to the second syringe assigned to the same reactor. This can be checked and changed in the dosing module settings as we saw earlier. Then we specify the dosing parameters such as the dosing amount and the dosing speed. And when more dosing steps are required, we can add more dose steps. Similarly, we fill in the required details on the right side. After programming all the experiment steps, we navigate to the Run and Results tab and select the reactor and start the experiment. So during the experiment, the dosing step is indicated by a yellow shade in the Run and Results screen, as you can see here, which shows the duration of the dosing step. Please note that before dosing the liquid, the ReactALL system opens the smart cap valve, which takes 3 seconds. And similarly, after dosing, the system closes the valve, which adds another 3 seconds. And when using the glass syringes, nitrogen is automatically purged at the end of each dosing step to expel any residual liquid in the tube. This also adds some extra time for the overall dosing time. And then finally, after dosing, the liquid level of the syringe can be seen in the dosing module tab here. I think that was all about DoseALL training. Thank you very much for attending this training webinar. Now we will go to Q&A session. But before we move to Q&A session, we would like to mention that we have recently launched the ReactALL Educational Resource Hub. And the hub is specifically designed for the users of ReactALL and DoseALL. It contains a wide range of resources from short tutorial videos, FAQs, training booklets, application notes, and of course, these training webinar will also be available there. So the purpose of these educational resource hub is to help you make full use of your ReactALL and DoseALL system. And we encourage you to explore it more. Thank you once again for joining this webinar. Now we will take all your questions.